What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and I am back to talk about Summer House Season 7, episode, I think it's 11 and 12. I can't remember. But, y'all, we got to get into this whole Danielle and Lindsay stuff. It has gotten completely out of control. But I'm going to spend my lunch break with y'all because I got a meeting in about a few minutes. So we can get through this quickly. So let's get into it, shall we?
Man. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on.
So yeah, I'm in a rental car because my car is in the shop. I told y'all about a week or so ago I got into a car accident. So I can't prop my phone up the way I want to. So I got to hold it. But anyway, let's get into this episode. So episode 11 started out where Carl and Danielle were having a conversation. Okay. So they're talking, and Carl is basically making sense of trying to make sense of it all with the situation with Lindsay and Danielle. And he's basically asking Danielle, like, how do you feel? Like, what is really going on? Why are you really so upset? And Danielle is like, she just feels like she's not being heard by Lindsay. Like, she feels like Lindsay is not coming to her the way that Carl is coming to her. And, she's just not understanding that she needs her friend. And Carl is like, so I definitely can understand that, but it seems like so are you saying you have no issue with our relationship per se? And Danielle is like, I'm telling you, I don't have a issue with your relationship. So then Carl begins to start talking about how he's getting ready to buy a ring for Lindsay. He's like, yeah, I'm looking into rings and all these different things. And so Danielle puts a pillow up to her face like she's upset. She's like, well, what's like, why are you doing this now? And, all this and the third. And he's like, well, wait, do you have any like unresolved feelings from when we used to talk in the past? Because Carl and Danielle had like a quick little fling. But it didn't even really last that long. So it just sounds to me, y'all, that Danielle is jealous of Lindsay and Carl's relationship. And it's mainly because her relationship is going bad. And she thinks that because they are moving forward in their relationship that is going too fast. But Carl and Lindsay have been friends for 7 years. How much longer do you think that they need to take for to your liking? And then she's upset because all three of them used to hang out together all the time. And now they are together all the time because they're in a relationship. So to me, I just feel like Danielle needs to just mind her business. She needs to move on with her life. They can all still be friends, right? But the friendship is going to be different. Carl and Lindsay are moving out of friend stage. They're no longer in the friend zone. They're in a relationship. So they can't be always having you cackalaacking in the background, always with them. They're not in a relationship with you. Okay? Y'all are not having, unless y'all trying to get into some sort of threesome type of situation. I don't know what you want from them. It's just really hard for me to see Danielle's point. So then her and Carl have this conversation, and then immediately, what does she do? Go run and talk to the other chicks that's always talking about Lindsay all the time. And I feel like Paige, Sierra, and Amanda just don't have nothing else to talk about because it seems like the whole season they have all just been looking for a way to chow down on Lindsay. Like, it's just been ridiculous. Like, they've been egging Danielle and her negativity on and making her think that the way that she's acting is okay and that, oh, you just want to be heard by your friend. And I'm like, no, y'all need to tell her that she's crazy and she's acting jealous. That's what it's really looking like. And actually, I feel like Paige and all of them realized that in the last episode. Okay. So we're going to sum up episode 11 because that episode was really just about her hating on them. So one thing that also I wanted to point out, they all went, like Lindsay went out and she hung out with everybody, the housemates, okay? So she gets a little turned up, And she comes back to the house, and Carl tells her that he had a conversation with Danielle. Okay. So he's like, yeah, I had a really good conversation with Danielle. I think it really went well. I think that you and Danielle should talk. And Lindsay is like, I've been talking to Danielle. I've talked to her until I'm blue in the face at this point. I don't know what else we can really talk about. Like, I'm trying to understand her. And here's the thing, I hate that I got to do it, but I'm on Lindsay's side. Lindsay can be very selfish at times, but she really has put it out there and tried to understand Danielle from her perspective. She's trying to understand exactly what is making Danielle tick. Like, why is she upset? And as soon as Lindsay poses a real question to Danielle, she's like, okay, so what am I doing that's making you upset? What is your issue, your real issue? How can I be a better friend to you? Like, asking her questions like that. And Danielle is just like, no, like, I don't like the way you're saying that. And da da da. She totally deflects and doesn't answer the question. It's just really weird. So when Lindsay comes back, she's all liquored up. Carl is trying to have a real conversation with a drunk person. I don't know why he tried that. Um, but Lindsay is like, so then, Lindsay is like, well, it's funny that you had such a great conversation with her and I haven't had such a great conversation with her. Like, why can't you stand up for me? Like, I think Lindsay was just mad that Carl wasn't cussing Danielle's ass out and she didn't appreciate that. And I'm just like, girl, everybody don't need to cuss somebody out just to be on your side. And I think that women have an issue with that in relationships. A lot of times they just feel like, oh, if I'm mad at somebody, then I want you to just be mad at them too, even if it's irrational. Men are not irrational for the most part. Okay. Women lead with emotion. And obviously, Lindsay is having a lot of emotions over this situation with Danielle. And she's irritated. And she wants her boyfriend to be irritated with her. And I just think that that's stupid. And I'm really proud of Carl, actually, the way that he handled the situation, because he was able to talk to Danielle with such poise and really poke through her BS. And he did the same thing with Lindsay. Like, he's like, okay, so you're just drunk. You're not thinking straight. Like, I'm just trying to tell you that whatever way that y'all have had a conversation with each other in the past, she still doesn't get it. She's still confused. So then they go to bed. Everybody is hanging out. And then Carl and Lindsay go to bed. So Carl is thinking this thing is done. Lindsay brings it back up in her drunken stupor. She's like, I just don't understand why you can't stand up for me. Like, why can't you do this? And you never have a backbone. And this, and Carl is like, Lindsay, you're drunk. You're not understanding me. I told you I did stand up for you. I asked Danielle what was her problem. She said she doesn't have a problem with our relationship. And Lindsay kept going on and on about how Danielle got a problem with their relationship. I'm like, Carl, don't even try to talk to her. And he didn't. He was just like, okay, you're acting out right now, and I'm just not in the mood. So Carl gets out of the bed in frustration and walks away from her. And she's just like, I can't believe you're doing this. She's like, you're mad, and you're saying that you're not mad. And he's like, well, listen, now you pissing me the hell off, and I'm not trying to be arguing with your ass, okay? So he walks away from her. So then Lindsay proceeds to lay there upset. Okay. But Carl, I like this. I like the fact that Carl can handle Lindsay, because in the past, Lindsay would have arguments with these boyfriends that she had, and she would just totally overpower them and they would just leave her. He left, but he came back. He just kind of walked away from the situation. He didn't totally leave her like the other guys did or go cheat on her or whatever the case may be. So the next day, they go downstairs. So everybody, I'm sorry, let me not skip this part. Everybody comes in from their drunken night hanging out or whatever. And then they end up, chatting it up. Corey is playing rock, paper, scissors, and this, that, and the third. And him and Sam are getting pretty close. Okay. So Sam and Corey have like a little crush on each other, and they're starting to try to cultivate their little whatever they have going on, because now they're in an actual relationship. So everybody goes to their prospective spaces, goes to bed. Kyle goes to bed. So then everybody gets up in the morning the next day. So when they get up in the morning the next day, Lindsay and Carl come downstairs. And so everybody is kind of semi asking them questions, and they're like, seeming like everything is cool, everything's fine. They've moved past the argument. But Danielle is looking over at them like she wants to see them argue. She's like, so this is what I have an issue with in her confessional. She's like, I have a problem with that because they need to argue and they need to get it out. First of all, you need to mind your business. You don't know what they talked about in the room upstairs. Why you all in that? It's like you are pressed to see them upset with each other. Like you are fixated on them having turmoil in their relationship. And I just think that's sick. That's not like somebody that, you supposed to be friends with somebody. That's not how friends think. And that's not how friends want their friends to be in relationships. Like you want people to be unhealthy in relationships because yours isn't working out. And I just really think that that is so sad. And right before she came downstairs, she in the daggone bathroom talking about Lindsay and Carl to Gabby and Sam. And Gabby and Sam are pretty much telling her, well, maybe you got to hear Lindsay's side of the story. Like, have you really told her how you feel like you're telling us? Because if you're telling her the same way that you're telling us how you feel, I don't understand why there's still miscommunication between you. And Sam is like, it just seems like whenever you guys are having a conversation, you don't really tell her how it is. You don't really lay it out for her. And maybe that's what you really need to do. Sam and Gabby have picked up on Danielle's BS. That's why Danielle continues to travel and cackle over there with Amanda and Sierra, because she wants somebody to be in negativity land right along with her. So moving on, everybody is talking about going out, going outside and doing all these little, they're going to play all these little games around the pool and this, that, and the third. So they all hanging out, having a good old time. They end up playing some like spin the bottle game or whatever, where they're throwing stuff at each other. And some of the ladies go shopping and whatnot because they're preparing for some, I guess, barbecue that they're going to have. But it seems like they're having more events this season, which that's what I really want to see with the summer house, because in the past, and I think it was because of the C-19, they couldn't really do very much. So now it's good to actually see them all like drinking, partying, hanging out, having a good old time. Danielle stays behind at the house. I think Lindsay is there as well. And so is Carl. So then they have a conversation with Gabby. The girls have a conversation with Gabby while they're shopping about who she likes, what types of guys she likes to date, stuff like that. One thing that I noticed, Maya wasn't in this episode, and I didn't miss sis. I'm glad that she wasn't in this episode. I just feel like Maya brings such a level of negativity. Like she tries to be that funny. She tries to be funny with her negativity, but it's just like she just exudes negativity to me. She's so nice, nasty, and it's just like, girl, just get out of the scene. So anyway, they're talking to Gabby about who she's attracted to, what types of guys she likes and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, Gabby, you gonna be single, child, because you got a lot of stipulations going on. You need to let the damn guards down because it's just giving team too much. Let's get into some of these comments real quick. Oh, y'all are talking. Jazzy J says, hey, my DC girl, what's up? I am round about DC right about now. Jill George says, hi, Shay. What's up, Jill? I love Jill. She watched the show with me, so I'd be loving when Jill comes on. And thank you so much for your super chat, Jill. I really, really appreciate you. Also, from my live with conversations with Sean, thank you so much, Angie, for your Cash App. And I got another Cash App from someone else as well. Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate your support. You have no idea. And usually I don't really promote like the Cash Apps and the super chats and things like that, but y'all, I'm telling you, as a content creator, we super appreciate it because it allows us to continue to keep going and doing the content. Because while we enjoy it, it is a financial, it is a extra financial stream of income for most of us. And YouTube, I ain't gonna lie, they've been really jipping us. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. So anything that y'all bring to the table, we certainly appreciate. Queen T says, "Hey Shay," and the one says, "Hey Shay, hope you are doing well. Much love and big hugs to you." Thank you so much. Yes, y'all, I am doing good. I'm in a rental. It's a nice little rental, y'all. I'm excited to have this Joker for a couple of weeks. And the one says, "I think she is jealous too. I don't think Robert is putting as much effort into Danielle and she doesn't like it." Yeah, but you can't take that out on Lindsay and Carl. I agree with you. And I don't think that it's right for her to take that out on Lindsay and Carl. Like, they have nothing to do with how trash your relationship is. And I think that also, Danielle doesn't express herself to um what's her boyfriend name, child? I forgot because he ain't never on here. You just said it, Robert. She don't express herself to Robert as much as I feel like she should, and that's a problem. That's a real problem. Angie says, "My girl Angie, always in the building working, child." Thank you so much, Angie. Angie says, "Hit the like, share, subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to be notified for more." Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Jill George says, "I feel Lindsay is calculated. I don't feel Danielle is right, but Lindsay needs to take accountability for something she never does." You know what? Usually I'm on your side whenever it comes to Lindsay and her negativity. But I feel like Lindsay has tried. She literally asked her. She's like, well, Danielle, you don't come to the city. Like, what are you're saying we don't hang out with each other, but you don't come to the city. She's like, okay, well, I will come out there. We'll hang out. We'll hang out more. I love you, Danielle. She's like hugging her and kissing her. She's like, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? But here's the thing. Lindsay can't be accountable for what Danielle is not telling her she needs. She's literally laying it out to everybody else but Lindsay. And I just think that that's not fair. Normally, I'm ready to, Jill, I'm ready to nail Lindsay down. But in this season, it's difficult. It really is. Like, homegirl is in love and she trying to make it right, and Danielle ain't having it. She just not. Angie says, "I want the twins back. They were fun." Oh my gosh, yes, that would be a twister, because one of them twins, that girl was so in love with Carl, it was ridiculous. And the one says, "Me too. A couple of seasons ago, I never would have dreamed Carl would have been the calm and regional understanding grown up. I like it." Absolutely. Like, he is so well thought out. Like, I really like that. I really wish that he could be better in his relationship with Kyle, though. I feel like he's so well thought out where it comes to his relationship with Lindsay, him trying to help her navigate this whole situation with Danielle. But I think that he needs to learn how to navigate his grief better and his relationship with Kyle, for sure. Angie says, "We need more twin representation." Yeah, absolutely. I think the twins were great on the show. Um, if you'd like to support this great content creator with Cash App, here it is. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all, and I need to change my damn Cash App. I got my whole damn government in that thing, child. But moving on. The girls are talking, and they're like talking about their results from the test that they did to see what their fertility was and all this, that, and the third. And so Sierra is really having a challenging moment, because she's like, wow, you guys results came back pretty much good, that you guys you're going to be able to have children. And so Amanda, and they did this to support Amanda, and Amanda is like, okay, well, I guess since it's not my fertility, I really need to go to the doctor because I'm losing weight, I'm not getting my period, and I don't know why, so I need to go to the doctor. And I'm like, Amanda, no shade, honey, but you're not getting your period, you're losing weight, what is it smelling like down there? Are you taking care of yourself? Oh. But that's a side note. But moving on, she's gonna go to the doctor, which I'm glad. I'm glad that that came out of that, because, girl, you can't just be not getting your period and looking like a skeleton, and then you don't understand what's going on with you and just like winging it, like, oh, I'll just say a prayer, hope I feel better. No, no, you got to take care of your body, sis. Okay. And then I noticed something. I don't know if y'all noticed, but it's something going on with Amanda's skin. Like, I feel like Amanda breaks out in hives a lot, and her skin is just off to me for some reason. I noticed that in that scene with Lindsay when they had that little conversation at the coffee shop, she would just be like completely red in one scene and then not. It's something going on there. Something going on there. And the one says, Angie, I would love to do that, but I do not know how. Oh, well, don't worry about it. And listen, you being here and watching the video, that is good enough for me, sis. Okay. So moving on. Sierra is having trouble dealing with her results because Sierra's results come back that she's, basically stating that she's going to have some issues with her fertility. And she's like, wow, I would have never done this if it wasn't for Amanda. But now that I know, it's like she's thinking about her life in a totally different realm. She's thinking she's young and she has all this time to really, get it together, have children and be in a relationship, but now she has to think differently. She's like, well, man, I want to be in a relationship and I want to have children, but I will probably need to do it sooner than later because I thought I had all this time, but I really don't. So I think it's really bothering Sierra. And with any woman, I think it will bother anyone because you feel like that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to procreate. We're here to be the nurturers as women. And to feel like somehow that's taken away from you where you won't be able to have children even if you weren't thinking about it right now, it's something that really can take a toll on your emotional state. And I definitely sympathize with Sierra and hope that because she works in the medical field she can figure out something that's going to work best for her. So everybody is outside. Danielle is talking to Carl and Kyle, okay? And Kyle is basically like, listen, Danielle, I get it. I get that you're having this hiccup. And Kyle is actually the voice of reason in this situation. He's like, I get that you're having these hiccups with Danielle right now. I mean, with Lindsay right now. But it seems like you lay it out really well for Carl and I. But I don't feel like you're communicating this way to Lindsay because Lindsay has tried to figure it out with you, but I just don't seem like you guys are moving forward. And I think it's because of your lack of communication. So Lindsay comes over and she's like, basically, you guys are saying that we need to talk and all this and the third. You're saying that me and Danielle need to talk, but I'm just like, what is it that we need to talk about? So Danielle is like, you're not listening to me. And, I just feel like you don't care. And I need you. I need you as my friend. And I do feel like Danielle in that moment slightly laid it out. I think she slightly laid it out. She basically was like, listen, I'm struggling right now and I need you. I really do. And she slightly said also she feels like Lindsay is paying more attention to her relationship than her. But here's the thing, this man is about to be her husband, sis. They're in a relationship because they're tough tight like that. You can't always, here's the thing, as a friend, right? You have to know that when somebody is in a relationship, your best friend is in a relationship, you have to understand and identify boundaries, right? You can't tell her, oh, you're moving too fast and this, that, and the third. Oh, I don't want you to get married right now. Oh, I don't think you guys should be moving together, and think that she's supposed to just do it. I think that's Danielle's problem. She doesn't get that you can give suggestions to your friend, but that doesn't mean that she has to do whatever you say. And then you don't have any reasoning behind why you're saying this stuff to Lindsay. You just don't. It's just off of pure emotion. You're upset because you're jealous that their relationship is going well and that Carl gives her the attention that you wish you got from Robert. Robert is always working. Carl makes a way. He makes time for Lindsay. He makes sure that he does things for her and caters to her. Your boyfriend doesn't do that. He don't even do that on his days off. It's not like he's like, okay, I never get to really see Danielle because I put work so far ahead because of my goals and what I'm trying to do. Let me plan a spa day for me and her. Let me do this. Like he thinks him coming to the summer house is just like the best thing since sliced bread. Like, oh, I showed up to the summer house for you. All right now. Go on now. You here? Like Robert doesn't do anything like super califragilistic expialidocious for Danielle at all. And I guess she feels like she's at home making their house a home, right? But he's not doing anything to make her feel good about how she's trying to hold it all together. So Lindsay is asking Danielle some really hard questions. She's like, "So what is really your problem? Do you really have a problem with me and Carl's relationship? Like, what is your real issue with us? Why are you saying that we're moving too fast? Because you keep saying it. Like, one minute we're moving on and everything's cool. Then the next minute you telling me, but I still think you guys are moving fast and I still am allowed to have an opinion." And Lindsay is like, while you're allowed to have your opinion, you can't force it on me. So Danielle is like, "You're not listening." And she, commences to tears as her defense mechanism so she don't have to answer the questions, and she runs off. And Lindsay is like, "See, this is what I'm talking about. I can't deal with that. I don't know what to do with that. So y'all are trying to make me look like the bad guy, like I'm doing all this to her, and she's not even listening to me. She's not answering the questions. So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?" So, everybody goes into their perspective, corners. Then everybody starts partying and hanging out and getting drunk, doing what they do. Okay. And so everybody goes into Paige and Sierra's room and jumps on their beds or whatever. I thought that was so funny and hilarious. And Carl and Lindsay are in the other room reconnecting and babing it up and doing the things that they do. So they're on a good page, and I can appreciate that. So then after everybody is done harassing Paige and Sierra real fast, Corey and Sam end up in the bed together. I'm like, okay, so y'all out here like extreme making out and stuff. Okay. So Sam brings up the fact that Corey is like very childlike flirtatious with her. And she likes it, but then she's like she doesn't even really know what's really going on with them and how they're going to move forward. So they're just kind of playing around and flirting with each other at this time. So the next morning, Sierra gets up and they're making breakfast and doing all this and doing that. And then everybody gets ready to depart the house for the weekend. Okay. So hold on, y'all. Let me see what else they got going on. Gabby says that she doesn't like hugs, so everybody hugs her, which I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And Sam and Corey are going to Montauk together so that they can hang out, and I thought that that was so cute. I was like, okay, y'all going on and try to get this relationship going, okay? Um, and the one says Robert doesn't seem very invested in her. No, he doesn't. He's I think Danielle is annoying Robert. I really do. Like every time they talk, she's just like trying to argue with him all the time. And it's just like, girl, you got to learn how to properly express yourself. This is just getting bad. In theory too says didn't know anyone was reviewing this. Danielle is being really weird about Carl and Lindsay. They've been friends for years. It's not like he's a random to Lindsay. Yes, thank you so much for coming in to the chat. In theory too, yes, I am reviewing the show. I love Summer House, and I am so excited to have someone else that actually watches the show to come on in with us. So yes, please feel free to comment as we go along. I'm on episode 11 now, I believe. I'm kind of recapping because I missed last episode. So at the end of this episode, y'all, Carl goes to get the ring, and I am like in tears. I don't know why it made me so emotional, but to see all the stuff that these two have gone through in the last 7 seasons, with Carl losing his brother, Carl being a drunken idiot. I loved seeing him growing up. It's like him and Lindsay have grown up, and the one says, "I love Summer House." Well, I'm so glad. Yes, thank you, and I'm so glad that you love it because I love this show too. I'm glad to have other people to talk about it with. But I just love the fact that they have grown so much on this show, and it's really really great to see. And I just knew that they were going to be together, y'all. Like when they were together in that relationship the first time, I didn't think that Carl was ready. I think that in that time period I learned that they were going to be good for each other. And I just thought that it wasn't right then. And I always hoped that they were going to find their way back to each other at some point. And I don't think, honestly, that Lindsay was ready to be in a relationship either at that time, because Lindsay is very selfish. But when it comes to Carl, she lets that Leo energy down. Like Lindsay has this thing where she has to be in control. She berates. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't want no copyright. We don't want no copyright, y'all. Y'all know I look at it so I can kind of remember the scenes. But yeah, she kind of berates her boyfriends. Like, I thought the last dude that she was with, that she said, "You don't make me a sandwich." I thought he was gonna be good for her, but I don't think she really liked him. I don't think she really fooled with dude like that. Um, but when she's with Carl, I think Carl can bring a calm to her. I think that Carl can tell her about herself, and she knows how to pipe down. Like he know how to tell Lindsay about her damn self, and she know how to just move the hell on. Okay, so moving on. We are back. We are on episode 12, Ring of Fire. Okay, and the episode starts off. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get to it. Let's look at some of y'all comments. In Theory 2 says, I think at the time of Carl's brother's death, it was definitely an aha moment for me, between her and Carl. He knows her and can handle her, because she is definitely a lot to handle. She definitely is. But you know what? I think that Lindsay, um she has a soft spot for Carl, because remember when she flew Carl's mom in, so that because he was having a hard time dealing with his brother's death, she brought the mom there so that he could, find some relief or whatever. And I was just like, that is so sweet that she did that. Like, she was just such an amazing friend to Carl throughout everything that he's been through. And also, I think that her and Carl were able to have realistic conversations. Like, even if she was going to him to get advice about the dudes that she was dating or whatever. Um, they always were a cool vibe. I just really I like their interaction. I really do. So at the beginning of episode 12, we have Gabby and Lindsay kind of coining their relationship. And I like this. I like to see this. I want to see Lindsay gravitating more to Sam and Gabby. I think Gabby is a great addition to this cast. She's quirky and funny and a little weird about relationships, child. Hope she find a man with all her quirks and queeks and teaks. But nevertheless, very realistic thinking, and she not the type to be trying to kiss nobody ass either. Like, she's like, listen, we gonna be cool, we gonna be friends, but I ain't about to, kiss your ass to be your friend. That ain't what I'm about to do. And I feel like Sierra wanted her to do that. I don't know why. I think that Sierra thinks because they're, oh, she's black, I'm black, and Maya's black, we should all get along, or she should want to be my friend because of that. Gabby is like, girl, I'm gonna be friends with everybody in this house, and me and you being black together ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, I feel like that was Gabby's kind of thing. I feel like she didn't feel like Sierra did enough to try to get to know her and prejudged her. I also think that Sierra is a little, she be hating on Gabby a little bit too, if you ask me. Um, but moving on, then we have in a parallel scene where Sierra is doing a party to celebrate her deciding to stay in New York. Okay. So I think that's a good decision for her. If you've found a place to plant your feet, go ahead and do that. You have friends here, but I'm going to need you to find some other friends outside of Paige, because you and Paige even need to get it. I don't know if your house be looking as jacked up as Paige and your room be looking, but both of y'all need to find a damn maid in New York, because I just can't imagine what y'all houses look like beyond where the cameras show. Cause it is just a mess in that room when y'all together, child. And y'all just be in the bed all day. I don't know what Sierra would be doing if she ain't had no job. But moving on. So everybody goes to, so Gabby and Lindsay talk about what type of guys Gabby likes. And Gabby proceeds to show Lindsay pictures of who she likes and what she's attracted to, and all this, that, and the third. I don't know if Lindsay about to play matchmaker for Gabby or what, but somebody need to help sis out. But you know what I can appreciate about Gabby? Gabby, she know what she wants, and she ain't willing to waver. Okay, she like, listen, I ain't about to have nobody's son getting on my damn nerves. Okay. Um, let's see. Angie, thank you for posting Shay's Cash App tag. I just sent my support through there. I'm kind of technologically, but I think I sent it to her. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate, and thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I sure do. In theory, says, and you know the one says, yes, I remember. In theory, too, says Gabby, the fact that she writes people off based on an astrological sign, she has to get over that. Yes. Oh my gosh. I've said that in my other reviews as well. I'm like, girl, if I wrote, let me tell y'all something. My husband is a Leo and I'm a Cancer. If I went by the astrology stuff, I would not be married. Okay. That stuff is a great guide or whatever, just to kind of, have a fun little way of figuring somebody out if you think so. But that doesn't really define people's real personalities. Okay. You got to really get to know people because you never know. It's so many other factors into that stuff, as she knows, the time you're born and what's your cross sign and all that other little stuff. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for all that. Sierra is definitely messy, period. I'm gonna need her to find her own storyline beyond constantly finding a way to be up in Lindsay and Carl's business. Angie says, sorry, I was driving. Girl, listen, we all multitasking around here, okay? I think I saw Miss B in the chat. Where's she at? Hey sis, what's up, Miss B? How you bees? Thank you so much for joining us. Miss B says thumbs up, you guys. Yes, please like the video. Like the video, please, and thank you. Okay. So y'all, we get to I don't, like I said, I don't know if Lindsay about to help see Gabby find a man or not. But anyway, now we get to everybody being at Sierra's party. I love the scene where Carl is having a conversation with Kyle and Chris. Now that damn Chris, we gonna get into him. But they're having a conversation because Chris is going to take the photos of of Carl and Lindsay at the engagement situation. So he's trying to set it all up. And he's nervous, but he tells them, he's like, I got the ring. I'm going to do it. Okay. So I'm so excited for them. Like, I was really excited to see this episode because it's finally come. And I know Lindsay is going to be so excited. So they're talking about that, and apparently Maya finally shows up for this episode, and she over in the corner, damn signifying, girl, quiet as this cat. You should have been listening to Oliver and seeing what he was doing while he was over there creeping around on you and Montauk. He probably should be on the new Montauk show with the black people. That's what he need to be doing, because clearly he was already there. And he must have been taping with somebody because he wasn't taping with you very much. And when he did come around, y'all wasn't even around each other. Like, girl, bye. That's why they broke. So newsflash, Maya and Oliver are broken up, and hell, so is damn um Robert and Danielle. So that explains a lot of why. I watched an interview where Danielle was literally crying about her relationship with Lindsay. And then she talks about how her and Robert broke up and all this, that, and the third. And I'm like, girl, we knew that from the way you was acting. All you had to do was say that me and Robert are not having good times in our relationship, Lindsay. And I'm sorry if I'm taking it out on you, but I really need my friend right now because I'm really going through a tough time. That's what you should have said. She didn't want to admit that they were going through something. I think that's her problem as well. She want to act like everything is perfect, and she even talked about it in this episode. So they also so after Sierra has her party where she's thanking everybody for being so supportive of her being in New York and her making friends and whatnot, that was a cute little party. But then the next day they show them all going to well, let me bring this up too. Chris is cray. He talking about some girl where he said, I told her to call me when she got home and she didn't call me, and I'm like, are you crazy? You crazy deranged? I don't know what's going on with Chris, but number one, he ain't got no game. Let's make that very clear. I don't know what he thinks is going on with him in the looks department. Maybe he thinks he is just so handsome that people will skip on by the corniness. Okay. But that ain't gonna work for you, sir. Cause you ain't got no game. You don't got you just don't have it. You don't. And homegirl that he told to call him when she got home didn't call because she must have called Tyrone, called him, okay? And she said, I ain't calling Chris because he's corny. So she was at the party and paying him dust. But moving on, we have Andrea is coming to the house, and his girlfriend will be showing up soon as well. Which I'm so excited to see Andrea. I don't know why they don't have Andrea and Luke on the show like right now. I think that they should be on the show. Like I would rather have them than Chris, because Chris is not given what needed to be given. He's just not. But anyway, Carl ends up in the hospital because homeboy is just so nervous. He is spiraling about this. That I don't know how. You know what? Let me say this to y'all real quick, and this is just a side note. How do men get so nervous to propose? Like y'all know the woman gonna say yes, right? That's why you asking. She gonna be excited. So I don't know. Maybe it's the nervousness about, whoosh, do I really want to do this shit? Oh my God, I'm about to lose my freedom. Because if she say yes, that's it. No more shenanigans and playing around. I don't know. Enlighten me. Somebody tell me what the men. I don't know what they be thinking, child. But he was nervous and his little legs gave out at a concert, child. But you know what? I'm sad that that happened, but I'm kind of glad it happened because that further proved to him, because of course Lindsay jumped into action because she gonna take care of her man, child. She gonna take care of Mr. Carl. She gets him right over to the infirmary, gets him handled, gets him to the hospital, and she laid up in that hospital bed with her man all night, child. And that's what you do. Maybe Danielle should be laid up at the restaurant with Robert and they wouldn't be broken up. Hmm. Anyway, she too busy trying to be laid up with damn Lindsay and Carl. And you know the one says, I do enjoy it, Angie. Shay is my girl time. I don't get much of that. I finished up with my third surgery, and while I recover, I look forward to Shay online. Oh, you had another surgery, and oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad that you are recovering. We are praying for good spirits and good energy, good recovery, good health overall. And you got this. You got this, sis. And Theory 2 says Oliver was creeping for real. Yes. Yes. Oliver was cheating on her the entire time. So that's why when it was interesting in this episode, she was like, she got engaged after a month with the chef Kwame that she was dating, which I'm pretty sure Kwame probably dumped her ass because she is annoying. But anyway, they got engaged after a month. So she was like, she's not afraid to jump in a relationship and really be in it when she's in it. But it was something that was always holding her back with Oliver, and she doesn't, that is holding her back with Oliver, and she doesn't know why. Girl, you know why. You probably went through his phone because they had a little scene where her and the girls were talking about Oliver leaving stuff at the house, and she packed his stuff up and told him to take it home or whatever. She won't even give him a drawer. And she was like, I don't know, it's just something about him that doesn't allow me to move forward with him. And I'm like, girl, because you give him half hugs every time you see him. Y'all not affectionate. He probably went on looking for it from somebody else because he's like, damn, we ain't even really 10 toes down with one another. So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep kicking the bobo with you so I can come and get on camera a couple times on Summer House, and that's about it. Cause you dry. I feel like Maya really, she do too much. But anyway, and also she was in this damn scene all up in Chris' business, asking if he banged some chick. She was like, yeah, I saw you guys over there talking and this, that, and the third, and I know you banged her. So on a scale of what is it? Girl, are you banging Oliver? Clearly you're not, because that's why he out here banging everybody else. Okay, but moving on, child. Moving the hell on. In Theory says SMH, hate to see it. Yeah, it's sad. Miss B says, girl, I'm here. I hit that Cash App too. I didn't watch this show, but I don't watch this show, but if I catch you on live, I'm supporting you. It's no matter what you're talking about, period. And I got you too, period. Listen, you let me know if I can talk about it. But when the podcast come out, child, I'm promoting it. So let me know, because I wants to see my girl on the grandstand, okay? And I'm gonna say a shout out to Miss B, y'all. She has an amazing podcast that she has out where she talks about topics where it pertains to women. We have got to support her. So when she gives me that information, I am definitely putting it out there to y'all because y'all gotta watch. Angie says, I'm so happy for you, and you know the one. Shay Renee is amazing, and listening to her will help you recover soon. And you stay positive and recover. Oh, thank you so much, Angie. I appreciate your support. Yeah, y'all. I literally, this is my therapy coming on talking to y'all because like it's like seeing the stuff that we see on these shows. It's always amazing to have other people that have like you know similar interests to talk to things like talk to about these things. So y'all, moving on, we have Danielle and Chris collaborating to do they're really having like different dinners, breakfast, stuff like that to celebrate their heritage. They are both Hispanic descent, and they all have a good meal. Danielle is making empanadas, which y'all, I make a mean empanada myself, child. And I ain't Spanish, but it is good. Okay, it is very good. I loves me a good empanada, and I make one. But her empanadas look really good too. So she's making empanadas. I think we talked about really briefly Kyle bringing up to Andrea that Carl basically passed out or whatever, and they don't know what time they're gonna come to the house because they dealing him and Lindsay dealing with that. But then they finally talk to Lindsay on the phone, and she's like, okay, he's good, we'll probably be there later on today. So anyway, Carl ends up calling Kyle and telling him he has the ring, he's ready, everything is all set up. He feels like he just had a little bit of jitters, and that's what happened. But Kyle is there fully ready to support him. And I appreciate this. I like seeing this segment of Carl and Kyle's relationship. Like, I really love seeing them in a healthy space because I feel like all season they have just been kind of back and forth at each other's throats over this whole lover boy stuff. And it's really, really just nice to see them in a good space. Okay. So moving on, they have dinner. Everybody is eating and enjoying the food. And Danielle decides to discuss. Now, let me say this. I have parallel thoughts on this. Danielle begins to discuss how she shielded showing her heritage because she wanted to be accepted, right? She's always been very fluent in business and, you know, just really getting her business together and finance and doing this and doing that. And she's been so focused on that that doesn't feel like she has really shown herself, her true self, that is, with her her heritage. Like, I forgot that Danielle was Hispanic, honestly, because that's how much she really did not talk about it. Okay. So now she's sitting here saying, you know, now I'm really more comfortable talking about it. And, you know, I just feel like I couldn't be myself around you guys because you guys are white and this, that, and the third. Here's my thing. You made a choice to do that. You came in here not being yourself. Because really, for me, Danielle can lean either way. She could just be a white woman with dark hair. Like, she doesn't give off extreme, you know, Hispanic features to me, right? And as a person of color, you know, I'm saying this without wanting to be controversial or whatever. But I feel like if you Hispanic, you be Hispanic all the time. We've never even heard you say anything in Spanish on the show until Chris came. So it took for Chris to come for you to be more open about your heritage. And I think that that's whack. Like, don't change yourself to be around these people. They didn't ask you to change to be around them. Hell, Maya had a whole outburst last season about not feeling accepted because she of her culture or whatever. You didn't you didn't really dive into that and really support her wholeheartedly with that. You gave your, yeah, I'm Hispanic and you know it's really tough and da 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 da. But you don't really talk about it that much. You don't even speak in your language around people. So it's like, girl, you just giving me real fake all the way around. Like, it's just so fake. You're making choices to be this way. So Gabby she says, now Gabby wasn't really in a pity party about her being black around a bunch of white people, because she's like, I've been around white people all my life. Like, and you can tell just, with she only like white boys, really, to me. And that's okay. That's her preference. That's what she's grown up around. She's grown up. And, it's not no secret that there are more affluent white people than black people, right? For one reason or other that we're not going to get into right now. But her family is affluent. She's a part of that upper, high scale class of black people. So she's around a lot. She grew up around a lot of white people. So she was just like, being in those groups, you have to really be accepted by those that are attracted. Like, she's attracted to white men, but you got to really be around people, find people that are attracted to black women. Right. So that was really what was challenging for her, that she discussed, or her saying that, you got to be people have to be willing to want to interact with you and want to be around you. And she said, that's been tough for her throughout her life, because that's all she's really been around. But Gabby is ultimately having a good experience with everyone in the house. And I wish Sierra was there to really be a part of this conversation, because she seems to have all these thoughts about Gabby, and that Gabby doesn't peel the layers back, but she does. Like, she was talking right then and there. She was really giving her whole spiel of how she feels. And I think Gabby has just really been transparent about who she is. And Theory 2 says that girl ghosted Chris because he pulls a woman's face to him when he kisses them. They showed that clip of him pulling that girl's face twice. I'm sure she was like, ugh, yeah, he is too much. He is way too much. You know what, Chris? Chris thinks that he is super handsome, and that anybody would just be so happy to be wanting to talk to him. That's what I think. I think Chris thinks way too much of himself, and that women are just flocking and coming at him in heaps because he's just so amazing. Miss B says, feel better soon. And the one. Ann says, thank you, Miss B. Yes, please. Everybody send all of your kind graces and prayers to Ann. We want her to recover, and we want her to be well. Okay. Jill George says, Andrea is hot and so sweet. Yes, and I heard he smell good, honey. I love me a good smelling man, child. And he is handsome. You're welcome. And the one says, yes, ma'am, Shay, I have one surgery left, but I have till the end of the month, and they are going after that knee issue. That is supposed to be the last one. And it is. And we claiming that in the name of Jesus. It is the last one, sis. The last. Okay. And you're going to come out of this just fine. Miss B says, thanks, sis. I'll let you know. Yes, please let us know. Hey, Miss B, congratulations. Is that my girl Sean in the chat? Y'all, Deep Conversations with Sean and crept and snuck on up in here. Hey, Shay in chat. Y'all go subscribe to Sean's channel. She is so dope. Like, y'all, I done found me a new friend, child. Okay, I done found me a new friend in YouTube, y'all. And shout out to the Unbiased Opinion panel. Please subscribe to each of our channels. Meet Deep Conversations with Sean, myself, and Jeremy Speaks. We will be doing recaps of Love and Marriage Huntsville together. Okay, we got to pick another day because we realized Saturday might be a little too soon, but we're gonna figure it out and let y'all know. Oh, Shay, I want an empanada. Yes, girl, come on through. Come on. If you in the DC area, I'll make you some. And the one says, LOL, my husband said he is looking for me to be in back 100%. He just misses my tamales. Child, listen, I love me a good tamale too. Okay. Deep Conversations with Sean says, hey, Angie. And the one says, hi, Sean. I enjoyed your podcast the other day. Yes, Sean is amazing, y'all. In Theory 2 says, yeah, I felt like Danielle was piggybacking off the conversation from Maya and Sierra last season. I wasn't really sure how to feel about the conversation. Don't want to discredit her experience, though. Yeah, and that's the thing. I want to say that, too. I don't ever want to discredit anybody's experience, especially being a person of color myself, right? We do go through different trials and tribulations and things like that others will never begin to understand. But respecting the experience is a whole nother thing that everybody can appreciate. And that's what I loved in that moment. Nobody tried to downplay Danielle's feelings. Like, Kyle has always been one that really wants to learn more, and I think that he's a white person that actually cares. You know what I mean? Like, he gives me, I care. I want to do better. I want to understand your experience. I want to make sure that you feel comfortable in this house because I support you, and I understand that I'm a person of privilege. And, I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to be open about that. And that's exactly what he did last season. And he so portrays that. Jessica Katrine says, my girl Jessica is here. She says, no, I'm late. Hey, Shay, what's up, Jessica? You not late, girl. You is not late. And the one says, I guess I've been married too long, 37 years. I just get excited over the fact Andrea can cook. Child, listen, okay? Cook and can and smell good. Deep conversation with Sean says, hey, friend. What's up, friend? Jill George says, blessings to you and the one. So, y'all, we continue on in the episode. They have dinner. Dinner goes well. They're all trying to salsa dance, child, and that was a pure fail. People, the rhythmless is just rhythmless, but they had a good old time. They had a good old time, and I'm glad to see it. Okay, so then we have Carl and Lindsay come in the house. Okay. Carl has on his hospital band. They're telling them about what happened, about him passing out and things, child, because he done lost the blood circulation in his body, thinking about this daggone proposal. But he also has a revelation in that moment where he's like, you know what? This further solidified that I'm doing the right thing. Like, I am excited to do this. I want to make sure that I secure this relationship with Lindsay because she is the one. And I'm so glad that I'm sad that had to happen for him to feel that way. Well, to make him feel even more comfortable about what he's about to do. But I'm glad that he had a revelation. So moving on, Andrea's girlfriend arrives. What is her name, child? Somebody remind me of what her name is, but she is gorgeous. Okay, homegirl is beautiful. I love her little bob. Her body is just, she looks skinny for me, but she is beautiful, and she don't Lexi. She ain't got no bra on, child. She got the titties just a swinging, and listen. If you can go braless because the titties is just that perky, you go ahead and do that, honey, because she's given all that needs to be given. Her and Andrea just look like a model photo together. So I loved having them come out, and they started talking, and I forgot who asked, but somebody asked about the time that they weren't together. Like when Andrea was confused between her and Paige. Like, he really wanted to be with talk to Paige, but Paige wasn't giving him the time of day. Then he realized he really loved Lexi, but Lexi wasn't trying to hear that. She was like, go on back to the little trick from Summer House, okay? You want to try to get rid of me for her. I ain't answering your phone calls. I ain't checking for you, okay? So then they both began to get emotional, and Lexi was like, yes, I was ignoring him. I wasn't returning his phone calls because I was really angry with him. But then she starts to cry, and she's like, I realized, why would I treat somebody that I love so much like this? So then they came back together, and now they are inseparable, which I think is so stinking cute. Like, they love each other. They're not afraid to talk about it. Andrea is not afraid to get emotional about his girl. Like, I can't wait to see them getting married. I think that is going to be a gorgeous wedding. And child, their children, oh my gosh, they're going to be on the cover of somebody's magazine too. Jessica Katrine says, Andrea is my reality TV crush. The house vibes are always better when he's there. Yes, like that's what I was just saying earlier. Like, why don't they have him on the show full time? Maybe he like, child, I got to be out here making sure Lexi ain't gonna leave me no more, honey. Okay. So everybody else is sitting at the table. And well, everybody sits at the table. Lexi and Andrea go sit at the table with everybody, and Chris asked this awkward question because Andrea was like, oh, we're having a bonfire, I want to be roasted or whatever. He was like, what is it that people roast you? I want you guys to ask me all the questions. So they were asking questions, and then Chris says, how do you feel about sitting at the table with Paige? Ask the girlfriend that, knowing that they banged First of all, I didn't know Paige and Andrea screwed, okay? Yes, I do, because she said that his penis is very large. Andrea, you handsome, you smell good, and you got a big dick. Honey, why are you checking all the boxes? Lexi, listen, girl. You better hold on to him, Savannah. You got a good man, Savannah, okay? Because he loves you. He emotional with you. Child. Andrea. Oh, baby. Moving on, y'all. Let me get it together. So all the ladies, so Sam is in the kitchen, and apparently Maya has talked to, I don't know if she's talked to Corey at this point. Oh no, Gabby is asking Sam about Corey. And Lindsay is talking too. Like Lindsay, oh no, Lindsay is talking about Jess. Apparently on Winter House, Corey was flirty with some girl named Jess, but that ain't work out. So now he's flirty with Sam. So Lindsay is worried that he is just somehow just some outwardly flirtatious dude. And this is just a fling for him. And that Sam really likes him. And she doesn't want for this to be a situation where he's just out here just playing and having fun. And Sam really wants to be in a relationship. So Lindsay, they were like, no, I think Corey really likes Sam because yes, he was kissing Jess and all this and the third, but it felt like Jess had to initiate everything. But with Sam, he initiates all the contact, the physical contact with Sam. So everybody is rooting for Sam and Corey at this point. So y'all kind of talked out of turn, but after this scene is where they have the whole crying conversation with damn Lexi and Andrea. But moving on. So everybody is talking. Maya talks about her relationship with Oliver. Everybody's hanging out. Lindsay and Carl get dressed. And it's time to go do the thing. Okay. So Carl and Lindsay are supposed to go get firewood or something like that. But I'm like, y'all are like really, really dressed to the nines to go get some damn firewood. But okay. And Lindsay is really like focused. She's like, okay, we're going to get this firewood and we're going to come back and what are we going to do? And okay, this is going to be so much fun. Okay, great. So they get in the car. And I'm like, Carl, don't you pass out while you're driving this car. So he talks to Kyle real quick. Kyle daps him up, says, you got this, man. Like, and I love seeing that. I loved seeing the interaction between Kyle and Carl, where Kyle was supporting him. Like, I just loved it. I love that. It warmed my heart to see them like getting along and Kyle being supportive of Carl. Because I feel like Kyle has lacked support with Carl, especially with him being sober and things like that. So Maya is back at the house and she's having a conversation with she's talking to Danielle and Sam. And Maya was like, well, you know, I listen to a lot of people's conversations and I feel like Carl is going to propose to Lindsay soon. So Danielle gets instantly pissed. She's like, wait, what? She's like, well, if he's going to do that, if you think he's going to do that next weekend, I'm not coming. I'm like, well, bitch, why do you not want to come? You said you don't have I'm very confused by Danielle. You said that you don't have a problem with their relationship, right? But now you don't want to come back next week if he's going to propose. Why is that? Why does that got your thong in a bunch? That shouldn't bother you that they are going to get engaged. What the does that have to do with you? She literally pissed me off when she did that. And she became extremely flustered and frazzled, thinking that they were going to get engaged and already planning to not come back. I'm like, girl, who do you think you are? Like, seriously, this is so sad to me. I couldn't believe that Danielle was acting like that. Couldn't believe it. But yet, your issue is not with their relationship. What does them getting engaged have to do with you? And mind you, you know, they say that her and Lindsay are best friends on this show. But I'm like, okay, maybe she's feeling some type of way because she wanted Carl to ask her to go and look for the ring. But why would Carl involve you when you've been acting like a big ass hater? you probably would have sabotaged the whole thing. So Carl is like decided to just move on and do it without her, as he should. And yes, I am going to review Martha's Vineyard. Yes, I am. Angie, I did see that. And the one says, am I the only one who feels like Maya just kind of phones it in? She just doesn't seem to me like she's very investigated. In any including Oliver. Yeah, I don't think that she don't need to be here. And I done told y'all that Maya is not my cup of tea. I don't really get her. She can go on and she can take Danielle with her ass. Jessica Katrine says Lexi has me considering getting a bob haircut. Yeah, you know what, Jessica? That would be cute on you. That would be so cute on you, actually. I love your long hair, but I think that would be cute. I love me a good bob, child. Jessica Katrine says the genuineness between Kyle and Carl in that moment was beautiful. It absolutely was. Like, it was so amazing. And the one says, is the Martha's Vineyard one starting soon? Yes. I think it's actually coming on next Sunday. If not Sunday, next week sometime. I know it's in the beginning of May. I gotta double check, but I will be reviewing that as well because I know Summer House is ending. So as that's ending, that show is probably going to be coming on. Jessica Katrine says Danielle looked like the side chick who just found out her boyfriend is proposing to the main chick. Right? Like, girl, why is you mad? Get it together. Like, really get it together, because this is just it's unbelievable how jealous she is. Like, girl, are you mad that Robert is not proposing to you? You don't even see him that much, and you complaining about that. So, girl, get a life. Jessica Katrine says Danielle just had to make every moment about herself, right? And in that moment, if I'm Maya and Sam, I'm looking at you like you crazy. Like, why can't I wanted them to be like, why can't you be happy for Lindsay? Isn't that your friend? I thought you were happy for them. Why does that bother you that they're engaged if they get engaged? Like, I hope somebody say that in the next episode. I really do. Danielle is giving hold on. In Theory 2 says Danielle is giving they want to see you doing good as long as you ain't doing better than them. Period. Okay? Y'all been talking to y'all for over an hour. My day ain't gonna throat dry. Sorry, y'all. We got to get the water up in there. And the one says Danielle just needs to live her own life, not Carl and Lindsay. Danielle acts like they can't live without her and her advice, and she is mad because they can. Right? You can't control grown people. Sorry, y'all. The gum went down the wrong pipe. You can't control grown people. You can't. You just really, really can't. Angie says hit the like button. Yes, y'all, please. I hope y'all are hitting this like button. Like, please, and thank you. Jessica Katrine says, I feel like Danielle is mad about Lindsay's relationship because she feels like her relationship with Robert is ending and she wants a single Lindsay to bop around town with. You said it. You summed it up perfectly. Perfect. She wants Lindsay to be a woman about town with her because she knows that she's about to be single. And now with Lindsay being in a relationship, Danielle is not in a space to be supportive. Like, she's not in a space to be nobody's maid of honor right now and to be supportive. You can't even be supportive of them being boyfriend and girlfriend. I know you can't be supportive of them getting married. Like, you can't. I never understood how people can be that type of friend. The type of friend that's jealous of your friends. I root for my friends every single day. When my friends win, let me tell you something. So the F do I. Bitch, you got a big house? We got a big house. Because guess what? I'm coming over. You got a pool? Guess what? I got a pool because I'm going to be swimming in that joker. You a millionaire? Guess what? I'm proud of you. Thank you. When you rent the yacht, just invite me. I don't understand people that hate on their friends. I don't get it. It's very sad to me. I encourage my friends to do well. I'm probably more excited than them half the time when they do something great. And it's just bothering me that Danielle is being like this. It's just so sad. Um, I think we read this already. Okay. So, y'all, we get to the moment, the scene that we have all been waiting for. Okay. So, Carl is nervous as I don't know what. He gets there and they walk up to the plot, the spot that they have all put together. He has all put together to propose to her, and Lindsay walks up. She's like, they see 7 years, best friends. And then she's thinking it's just a little date. She's like, oh babe, this is so cute. And he's like, yeah, I wanted to put something together for you because we really haven't had, a lot of private time in the house, so I wanted to put this together for you. And Lindsay was like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. Like, I love it. She didn't suspect anything. She's just looking like to have a good time. So she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to sit down right here. And he's like, no, 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 maybe stand up. And he's like, and turn around. And he's down on one knee. Child, he didn't even get to ask the question. She's like, yes, 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 right now. Let's go. You got it. Is it set up? Is my family here? Like, she is excited and ready to just move on with this man. And I was almost like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I shed a little thug tear. I was like, oh, this is so sweet. I love the way he did it. And she was so super excited. She was so excited. I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them. And then we see a preview of the next episode where Danielle ass is hating again. She's like, they come back because they're celebrating, right? Her Lindsay's family is there. Carl's family, I believe, is there. Their friends, Kyle, obviously, and Chris have helped to orchestrate all of this stuff behind the scenes, and nobody in the house knew what was going on. So, everybody's there to greet them, to celebrate, and Danielle is over there with a big old stank face. My thing is, if you're not upset about their relationship, the biggest thing I would have been like, oh my God, I'm so excited for y'all. But Carl, I'm going to get you because you ain't even asked me to come and help you pick the ring out. But you know what? I'm happy for y'all. Put that all to the side. I'm so happy for y'all. Please, if there's anything I can do to support, please let me know. Like, that's how I was expecting her to be. If you're not mad about their relationship. You really acting like you and Carl must have been fucking behind the scenes and you mad that the dick gonna stop. I don't understand her. It's very sad. It really is. And it's getting to be too much. I need somebody to check her. I really do. Jessica Katrine says, I want my friends to do well, especially when I'm down bad, because we can't both be at rock bottom. Right. Exactly. Who can help each other if we're both down bad? Exactly. Period. Okay. Because I need you to do well, because on days that I'm feeling like I ain't doing so good, I need to come over there and, see you doing well so I can feel better about my damn self. Okay. Because I know the trouble don't last always, okay? And the one says, didn't Danielle move to Charleston for Robert? Maybe because Lindsay didn't have to turn her life inside out for Carl and Danielle, like Danielle did for Robert. But you know what? That's not their problem. It's not. She's moving all about the vessel for Robert, and that's what she decides to do. That's on her. You can't punish your friends because their relationship is going seamlessly and they're willing to do anything for each other. The problem is she was willing to do everything for Robert, but Robert is not willing to do everything for her. And that's her problem. She sees reciprocity in Carl and Lindsay's relationship. She doesn't see that in hers. And instead of her being happy for her friends and fixing her own relationship and just moving the hell on, she's this self-proclaimed matchmaker. She always matching some damn body up. Find you a new man. And stop worrying about Lindsay's. It's too much. It's team too much. Jill George says, please go out of live chat and hit like, please. I love these recaps. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you. Yes, everybody listen to my girl, Jill, because she know what she's talking about. Like the video, y'all. Like it up, please, please. Angie says, thank you, Miss Jill George, for helping me. I appreciate it. Yes, Angie, because Angie, girl, you be on it, child. And the one, I love that for Lindsay and Carl. Yes, it was so amazing. Like, I just love, love, love seeing them happy. It's an overwhelming joy. And like I told y'all, Lindsay be getting on my daggone nerves for the most part, but Child, I am so excited to see them together. And hopefully Lindsay don't turn back into her bitchy little self next season, child, because I don't want to see that. Jessica Katrine says, I actually see Lindsay and Carl working out. She has softened herself for him and has become nurturing, and Carl has matured. Yes, I think that they both are experiencing the best versions of themselves. I really do. And I think that they're both going to really benefit from that. And it's really nice to see. It really is. And it's just sad that Danielle is not participating in the positivity of it all. But y'all, I gotta go in here and meet with my client. I am 2 minutes late now over here talking to y'all. But thank y'all so much. I so appreciate each and every one of you watching my videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.